Hey, what's happening, guys? Pastor John here. Hey, another great, amazing day at Micro today at our gathering as we continue in our study of 1 John. Today we're in 1 John chapter 1, verses 5 through 10. So a little recap for us as a reminder for those of us who are here and not here to be able to go back and study. So today we did a little message called Live in the Light of Truth. So we've entered into the section of 1 John where he's focusing on this idea of walking in the light. And so today we saw the message and we saw the mistake and we saw the method. So the message, John says, is here's the message that I'm proclaiming to you, that God is light and in him is no darkness at all. So what's he saying there? He's saying that God is holy. He contrasts light and darkness as in good and evil, and God's light is shining into the dark places in our lives and reminding us that God is holy. There's nothing bad in him. He's never done anything bad, and he's only ever done things that are right and good. And so he wants us to live like that. We need to be reminded of that holiness so that we can be holy like he is holy. That's what he tells us to do. And so what's the mistake? The mistake is that John goes on to say that we don't do that. Instead, we deceive ourselves and we pretend like we're walking in fellowship with God while we're actually walking and practicing sin. And John says that just doesn't fit. You can't do that. And on the flip side, he also says that if you say you have no sin, that you make God out to be a liar. And so there's this balance in there where we can't just live in sin 100%, live it out and practice that as a lifestyle. And yet at the same time, we can't say that we're perfect and totally righteous in our own power and that there's no sin in us. And so there's this middle way, there's this balance of recognizing that, hey, as a human being, I will always struggle with sin, but I'm not going to allow it to be a practice in my life. And so what's the method? The method is confession. John gives us the answer here, and he says, if you confess your sins, God is faithful and just to forgive you of those sins and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. So we need to be a people who are practicing confession. That's our challenge for this week, to make confession an everyday practice. And so if that's not a practice for you, incorporate that into your life this week and allow God to bring it to mind, those things that you may not even pay attention to, that he doesn't want you to be doing or that he wants you to start doing, so that you can live a whole life, a holy life that looks more like him. I hope that's a good reminder for you and that you'll make it a practice every single day this week to confess your sins, keep a short list with the Lord, and if you need to, invite another human being into that confession to say, hey, I've been confessing this to the Lord for a while, but I need to make it known to somebody else. And if God's prompting you to do that, would you just commit right now to make sure you do that? Think of somebody that you can go tell, let them know what you're struggling with, or maybe the sin of omission that you're committing, and allow them to speak into your life and to help you. Love you guys. Love what God is doing here at Belmont in our micro church network, how he's growing us. We're reaching people, and it's a cool thing to watch. So keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.